ਜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੀਤ ਇੰਜੋਏ ਕਰ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਹੋ ਤੇ ਇਸੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਸੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅੱਜ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਹਾਜ਼ਰ ਹੋਣਗੇ ਹਰਜੀਤ ਕੌਰ ਜੀ ਸੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਥੋੜੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਦੇਣਾ ਚਾਹਾਂਗੇ ਹਰਜੀਤ ਕੌਰ ਜੀ ਸ਼ੀ ਇਜ਼ ਅ ਕੈਂਸਰ ਪੇਸ਼ੈਂਟ ਐਡਵੋਕੇਟ ਸ਼ੀ ਇਜ਼ ਅ ਬਲੌਗਰ ਸ਼ੀ ਇਜ਼ ਅ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਮੀਡੀਆ ਇਨਫਲੂਐਂਸਰ ਐਜ਼ ਵੈਲ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਇੱਕ ਰੇਅਰ ਕੈਂਸਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਅਗਰੈਸਿਵ ਟਾਈਪ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਬਲੱਡ ਕੈਂਸਰ ਹੈਗਾ ਜਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਸਰਵਾਈਵ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਐਂਡ that too at the age of 32 when she figured it out ਕਿ ਹਾਂਜੀ 32 years ਤੇ she had cancer so ਹਰਜੀਤ ਕੌਰ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਜਰਨੀ ਬਾਰੇ ਅੱਜ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਸੋ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਜੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ ਹਰਜੀਤ ਜੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ thank you for having me thank you for inviting and I'm like honored to be part of at this radio and अपनी कैंसर जर्नी के बारे में एंड एक्सपीरियंस के बारे में आई वुड लाइक टू शेयर विद द पीपल ओवर हेयर आई मूव टू कैनेडा मैं 2018 में विच कैनेडा मूव हुई सी आई मूव्ड हेयर बिकॉज माई हस्बैंड वॉज working here and I was working in Dubai and वहाँ से I moved to Edmonton. I started working as member sales Edmonton Chamber of Commerce which and सब कुछ अच्छा चल रहा था like my life was going good we were having good time new country नई जगह नई city exploring the city and having dreams of जो सबके होते हैं going to a new country having a family having a career सब कुछ बहुत अच्छा चल रहा था and suddenly May 2019 I used to generally मैं वॉकर के काम पे जाती थी वॉकर्स के ही वापस आती थी and we had like a very good lifestyle was good everything was good तो suddenly May end के आसपास I started having fever and just a common fever जो सबको होता है like and मैं वापस घर आई तो I was not feeling well and I was like कि मैं अपने husband को बोल रही थी कि मुझे अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है I'm like feeling really down and weak तो I just took off मैं दूसरे दिन काम पे नहीं गई and third day when I went back I felt the same and मैं वापस आ गई जल्दी घर से and I had like high fevers really high which was like around 39-40 and I was really weak didn't felt like eating anything and मैं काम पे नहीं गई and एक दिन morning में when I woke up I just fell down मैं washroom में गिर गई थी तो it was completely blacked out and I उठी तो bleeding and mouth में हल्की सी there was some kind of a scratch and so it was bleeding and I told my husband that I'm not feeling well and I'm really weak and we went straight to the family doctor as Canada में हम जब हल्की सी भी तबीयत खराब होती है तो we have to go to the family doctor तो मैं गई family doctor के पास my family doctor was really nice and she said कि ये general fever है बुखार है which will take time and just take Tylenol as usual जो यहाँ पे बोला जाता है right तो I went back home हफ्ता निकल गया 2 हफ्ता निकल गया fevers were still there and हमें ये बोला जा रहा था कि ये viral है infection है it takes time 2 हफ्ते निकल गए third week started and एकदम से रात को I started having really high fever which went to 41 and my husband was panicked वो एकदम से panic हो गया and he took me to the emergency जो यहाँ की policies है कि emergency but one thing was really strange जब हम emergency गए I waited for 6 hours and I was told कि ये सिर्फ fever है आप दोबारा मत आओ यहाँ पे because you don't have any other symptom so all this happened month passed by and I was told that it's just the viral nothing else and
it was still there for a good month
right so it was like almost June and I was just having fevers nothing else and हमें ना अंदर से feeling आ रही थी कि कुछ ठीक नहीं है there's something wrong but everybody was just saying कि ये viral है flu है just take rest as much you like और हमने इतना advocate किया like my husband went across and he spoke to the family doctor कि नहीं ये viral fever नहीं है there is something else and we have to do something else like we have to do scan or CT scan or MRI or PET scan but they were not listening we know like it's a public health and a lot of things comes in between but we fought a lot and I was admitted to the hospital so my family doctor she suggested me like she referred me to a infection medicine specialist and he checked me and he said, it's just the fever, aap track down karo, aap apni every 2 hours में मुझे fever आता था, and every 2 hours I used to take Tylenol to cut down the fevers. 1 month passed by, 1.5 month passed by, and उसके साथ साथ मुझे chills आने शुरू हुए थे. My whole body used to, कांपती थी. And just to calm me down, I used to take two or three pills of Tylenol and cover myself with the blankets and stuff, because I was not going to work as well, and बहुत ज़्यादा stressful हो रहा था for me and my husband and my brother who was here too. And it was really difficult for us to manage, and we advocated a lot, and then I was admitted to the hospital. It took them almost 3 months to diagnose. And I had like endless biopsies, endless scans, endless MRIs, PET scans, surgeries. जो भी उनके मन में आया, it could be this, it could be that. Being an Indian, and being a young adult, they never thought कि it could be cancer. But when it took 3 months to diagnose, because हम बिल्कुल हार मान चुके थे, and we were planning to go back to India. And my husband advocated and he said, we are taking Harjeet back because you guys are not able to diagnose it. कुछ भी diagnose नहीं हो पा रहा था. Fever still था, 3 महीने से fevers थे, chills थे, खाना पीना बंद हो गया था, mouth sores हो गए थे. And we called our mom too from India. My parents are in India. And because it was overwhelming, बहुत ज़्यादा burden हो गया था मेरे brother के लिए, मेरे भाई के लिए, and मेरे husband के लिए, to manage everything, to manage work, to manage hospital, to manage me. So it was really difficult for them. And my mom came in, and 27th of August was the day. 2019, 27th August was the day when doctors came in, and we were getting discharge papers ready because I was planning to go back to India. She came in and she said that हमें diagnosis आ गया है. She has stage 4 blood cancer, which is a rare type of blood cancer called subcutaneous pericarditis T-cell lymphoma. Honestly, जब मुझे ये बात बोली गई तो I was numb. I didn't know what to do.
Because you don't expect, है ना?
And अभी तक कोई diagnose नहीं हो रहा था, and अभी तक there was nothing coming out, right? And suddenly you're telling me कि I have stage 4 cancer. And उस वक्त, because my husband was with my family doctor and my mom was there, my brother was there, she held my hand tightly, and I felt like I don't know where my life is going now. And they told us कि आप please हरजीत को इंडिया मत लेके जाओ, we need to start the treatment ASAP, because my body was so weak, इतनी weak हो चुकी थी कि there was no time to think about it. But something in our mind was like, we still want to talk to someone in India. And my uncle, he's a doctor. My husband, uncle, he's a doctor too. So we called them. We asked for a report from doctors. We sent the report to India. We wanted to check and clarify if the diagnosis is correct or not. And everything seems okay. And we were told that I have to start my treatment the next day. Honestly, जब ये सब हो रहा था, उस वक्त इतनी हसल बसल में, I don't know what was going in my mind. उस वक्त I was just thinking to get over with it, and I was like, मुझे नहीं पता आगे क्या होना है. But I had my family with me उस वक्त. That was my big support. My dad was in India, and that was the difficult challenge for everyone to tell him how to tell him. And I started my chemo the next day. बिना कुछ बोले, बिना कुछ जाने, I just started the treatment. Because उस वक्त मैं बिल्कुल, मुझे नहीं पता उस वक्त क्या हो रहा था मेरे साथ. And क्योंकि I never thought कि cancer will come in my life at
and
this
age. And I feel that's the case with everyone. हर कोई सोचता है कि नहीं हो सकता. I cannot be the one.
I cannot be the one. And who wants?
Exactly.
Who wants to hear that C word in their life, right? But then treatment started. Doctor came in and he explained me that it's a very rare type of cancer. There are hardly any cases reported globally, like there are 150 or 120 cases reported globally.
That's very rare.
और इस type का cancer बहुत जल्दी नहीं पकड़ा जाता है, because the symptoms are really rare. And being my condition and being my age, no one thought about this. They started the treatment. 1 महीना मेरी treatment था, chemos every 3 weeks. So I was in Cross Cancer Hospital, यहाँ पे Edmonton में. And as I said, my family was there, my mom was there, my brother, my husband, my very close friends were there to support me at that time. The only person I missed was my dad at that time, because I don't know how they managed to tell him. And as soon as he got to know, he took the next flight and he was there before my second chemo.
Okay.
And I know for parents it's so difficult to make them understand that your kid is going through a cancer, right?
जी.
At this age.
जी.
And treatment chalna shuru ho gaya tha. 3 chemos mil gayi thi mujhe, and after 3 chemo they wanted to do a PET scan. And the PET scan happened in November 2019, and my doctor came in, oncologist. He was really nice. I mean, in the sense he used to explain things very nicely, and he came in, he's like, Harjeet, what's your appetite? He was like, what do you want in life?
Okay.
And उस वक्त तक इतना सब कुछ हो गया था कि मैं ना अपनी लाइफ से कुछ भी एक्सपेक्ट करना भूल चुकी थी. I just wanted to get out of it.
जी.
And I was like, I want to live. I want to survive. And he's like, the only option to survive is to go for a stem cell transplant.
Okay.
Because some of your cancer cells, कुछ आपके cancer cells हैं जो body में react नहीं कर रहे हैं कीमो को.
Okay.
Because my cancer was rare, and it was along with HLH, एक autoimmune disease which eats your good cells
Okay.
in the body.
जी जी.
So as soon as the treatment मुझे मिल रहा था, you know, that autoimmune disease, the HLH was eating my good cells too. So whatever I was getting, it was not getting any my body was not getting any benefit out of it.
जी.
तो मुझे बोला गया कि stem cell transplant करना पड़ेगा, and we need to look for a donor. I was lucky to have my brother, so he was my 100% match.
Okay.
He was my donor.
जी.
And they wanted to do chemotherapy ताकि मैं partial remission में आ जाऊं before I go for a stem cell transplant. तो December तक मेरी chemos हुई 2019. January 2020 I started having a blurry vision in my eye. मुझे ना
Okay.
एक right eye से दिखना हल्का हल्का बंद हो रहा था.
Okay.
And क्योंकि मैं इतनी high dose of chemos में थी, drugs में थी, and I was told that it's one of the reasons because of the drug कि मेरे को नहीं दिख रहा है हल्का सा.
जी.
And we were like, okay, but एक दिन when I woke up, I noticed that I could not see from my right eye. And
At all. It was
at
like
all,
gone.
at
Okay.
all.
जी.
So we rushed to the emergency again. One thing I missed, like during whole this process, I had like endless number of emergency visits. And people know कि यहाँ पे क्या होता है. You go to emergency, you wait for 6-7 hours, you wait
जी.
for 8 hours.
जी.
The waiting cycle is so bad that you can't help.
जी.
So January में when we got to know about my eyes, emergency गए तो मुझे बोला गया कि it might be lymphoma in the eye. My
Okay.
cancer might have gone to the eye, and they said we have to do the biopsy. तो biopsy करी उसकी, और luckily I waited for like a week to get the answers, और मुझे बोला गया कि it's not cancer, it's a virus, CMV virus, which is very normal for anyone to catch.
Okay.
But because मेरा immune system इतना compromised था, and I was going through chemos and stuff, कि मेरे को हो गया है. But before going to stem cell, उनको ये treat करना था. तो उस time पे I was told कि I have to go for a every week treatment, जिसमें मेरे को हर week eyes में injection डलता था.
Okay.
To protect my other eye.
All
And
right.
to make sure that this virus doesn't goes to my left eye.
Okay. That
'Cause
must have
that's
been like
the vision,
really
right?
hard.
So वो सब हुआ Jan and Feb, and then they wanted to do more chemos, और harsh chemos देनी थी मुझे because मेरा treatment due था March में stem cell के लिए.
जी.
So all those appointments, treatments, emergency visits was there. I mean, I was just struggling to come out of it. एक के बाद एक चीज हो रही थी,
जी,
right?
जी.
I was looking for कि okay, मेरे को green light कब दिखेगी, when I can be out of this treatment. But
जी.
obviously it was a difficult journey until then. And being young adult, being at the age of 32, I was told that I'm into menopause. You know,
Okay.
I don't have any chances where I can freeze my eggs.
So it's
or,
like
you know.
one thing led to the other, and
So I was just
on and on and on.
frustrated, irritated, and I don't know what to do, what's next in my life.
जी.
So March 2020 was the time I was supposed to get stem cell transplant,
Okay.
and then COVID hit.
You know, you got diagnosed ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ right after that COVID was there ਤੇ COVID ਕਰਕੇ ਖਿੜੀਆਂ ਹੋਰ I feel definitely delays ਬਹੁਤ ਦੇਖਣ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲੇ ਉਸ time ਤੇ in everything ਜੋ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਤੇ medical procedures ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ how was it ਕਿੰਨੇ ਕੁ delays ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਣ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲੇ because of the COVID?
So पहले ते जब I think March 17th global pandemic hit 2020, right?
जी.
और उस वक्त सबको न्यूज़ आ गई थी कि everything is shut down,
जी.
and all the visitor policies were taken out from hospitals.
जी.
So nobody can visit patients in hospital. Things changed, you know, एकदम से. And at that time when I was going through my treatment, उस वक्त ये news मिलना कि globally, you know, pandemic है and hospitals, doctors, suddenly they are overburdened with lot of things.
जी.
And उस दौरान I was asked, so my treatment which I missed, मैं पहले बताना भूल गई थी. So chemotherapy जो थी मेरी, जो chemo treatments थे, that happened at Cross Cancer Edmonton. But stem cell was supposed to be done at Tom Baker Calgary.
Okay.
Because Tom Baker Calgary has a stem cell transplant clinic and it's a huge cancer center too.
Okay.
तो मुझे उसके लिए वहाँ पे जाना था अपनी appointments के लिए and all the procedures to do, you know, before stem cell. So March 2020 when I went to Calgary to meet my doctors and stuff, and उस वक्त ना मेरे को एकदम से खांसी जुकाम and cold के symptoms हो गए थे.
Okay.
And उस वक्त they got scared कि
COVID
what
है.
if it's COVID?
जी. जी.
Obviously they did all the test because उस वक्त मैं already chemo से निकली थी and मेरा next step था to go for a stem cell. तो stem cell से पहले आपकी body को वो partial remission में ले आते हैं उस treatment
And
की वजह
what's
से.
that exactly?
हाँ.
What's that?
Partial remission is like chemos दे के आपका जो cancer है उसको remission में ले आते हैं.
Okay,
Like in
so-
the sense कि you are okay.
Okay.
Free, kind of free of that type of cancer जो आपको था.
And you're ready for the next procedure.
You are ready for the stem cell transplant.
Okay.
But उस टाइम पे मुझे, as I said, कि cold, cough, flu हो गया था and they did all the testing. They did the COVID testing, they did the influenza testing, they did a lot of virus का test and all. And luckily it wasn't COVID. So I got influenza, but उसकी वजह से मेरा treatment हफ्ता 10 दिन और delay हो गया था.
Okay.
And 7th April 2020, I was asked to come to Tom Baker for the treatment.
Okay.
So the treatment क्या होता है stem cell का? You go through a specific treatment which is like, it can be chemo, it can be radiation depending on what kind of cancer you had and what kind of treatment is it.
Okay.
तो मुझे बोला गया था कि 7th April को I have to come to the hospital, I have to get admit there, मुझे वहाँ पे रहना है. But because of COVID, मेरी कोई भी family या friends मुझे नहीं visit कर सकते.
And I feel it is very important for you to have your
Yes.
family around, है ना इस
Because
time पे?
अभी तक जो भी मेरा treatment हुआ था, I had a very good support of my family, my friends.
जी.
And जिसकी वजह से I could, you know, be there and had my treatment very well.
जी.
Because that support is very important. जब एक patient cancer के through निकलता है, that support, that strength of of her family or, you know, friends and close ones is very important because they go through a lot of physical and mental challenges at that time.
जी.
But जब मुझे बोला गया कि आपको अकेले ही ट्रीटमेंट करना है and आपको 30 days हॉस्पिटल में रहना है अकेले by yourself.
Okay.
Honestly, जब मुझे मेरे पेरेंट्स ने वहाँ पे और मेरे हस्बैंड ने मेरे everybody who dropped me to the hospital उस वक्त 7th April, I thought कि I'll never come back.
जी.
I actually thought कि I'll never come out of that hospital because everywhere it was so bad. People were dying because of COVID.
Gee,
and
so,
a lot of health issues going
It
on.
was just addition to it कि already
Yes.
it was so much stress ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਉੱਤੇ and उपरो COVID and
COVID.
और आसपास I feel जो लोग normal भी ਸੀ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ ਨਾ, they were having lot of stress and anxiety कि ਹਾਂਜੀ COVID ਹੈਗਾ ਹੁਣ we don't know ਕੀ ਹੋਣ ਵਾਲਾ ਹੈ, right? जी.
And 7th April when I went in, मैंने अपना room set किया, I put the pictures, I did everything. But I don't know, I was not prepared for it. मैं ready नहीं थी.
जी.
I always thought कि I don't know if I'll come out alive or not.
जी.
यहाँ से बाहर आ भी पाऊंगी या नहीं.
जी.
Because those 30 days were really challenging for me. So it was like 7 days, मुझे non-stop chemo मिली थी every day.
Okay.
And radiation just to kill the immune system of my body.
Okay.
जो भी immune system था मेरी body का, they had to kill that immune system ताकि मेरे भाई के stem cells मुझे मिल पाए.
Okay.
So that was the most difficult time in my entire journey.
Okay.
Without holding anyone's hand, किसी के हाथ नहीं पकड़ सकती थी, अपनी family से बात करती थी, but I was not in a condition. मैं पेन किलर पंप्स में थी, pills लेती थी.
वो energy भी नहीं होती obviously because you're going through a lot of
I was
medicines
going through
and
that and
जी.
it was so much going on that time, the physical and the mental changes in my body, everything was like really bad. You know, मेरे से वो नहीं हो पा रहा था. I was just having that strength that I have to meet my family after this.
जी.
रोज मैं अपने आप से लड़ती थी. To just live, and I have to survive. Those 30 days, I have to come out of the hospital.
Okay.
And it was not so easy for me.
जी.
I know like COVID ke time pe no visitors was there. There was so many things, like I had to be on the hospital food and stuff. And chemos की वजह से I had mouth sores की वजह से I could not eat. मैं खा नहीं पाती थी, तो I was on a food pipe for 30 days.
Okay.
And it was really, I mean, I can't describe the feeling, but if I think about it, it still gives me goosebumps. Like मुझे आज भी वो सोच के अजीब सा लगता है कि मैंने वो 30 दिन कैसे निकाले. And but I'm here, you know.
कहते हैं ना कि like you don't know how strong you are unless being strong is the only option you have, है ना.
जब तक आपको पता है, you know, and strong, that's the saying कि आप जब तक आपके ऊपर बीतती नहीं, आपको नहीं पता चलता है, right?
जी बिल्कुल.
And बट उस पर भी बहुत बड़ा फैक्टर आपकी विल पावर है. यू हैव टू बी वेरी स्ट्रांग. देयर आर पीपल हु गो विद स्टेज 1 कैंसर, स्टेज 2 कैंसर, बट स्टिल दे डोंट हैव दैट विल पावर एंड दैट, यू नो, एंड नॉट everyone comes out of it. But I think I was lucky one. I was blessed. I was grateful, you know. I'm like a person who believes in God, and every time I used to have chemo, I remember I used to pray and I was like, बाबा जी बस मेर करी, मेरे ऊपर मेर करी,
जी
और कुछ नहीं चाहती मैं, बस मेर करी मेरे ऊपर. And I think because of him and because of my family, my friends, my willpower, my strength, I'm here.
जी.
It's been 3.5 years of this long journey. It took a lot of time for me. Stem cell के बाद मेरी body इतनी weak हो चुकी थी. I was 40 kilos.
Okay.
After stem cell.
Okay.
I was not able to walk. I was not able to eat. I was not able to take stairs. My brother and my husband used to lift me up and take me to the room. I was so weak.
जी.
But if I go back and say कि इतना सब कुछ मेरे साथ हुआ, but that gave me so much of strength today.
जी.
Like I'm more stronger than what I was before cancer.
जी.
I know it take a lot of courage to, you know, be
talk
here
about
and
the
talk about
puri
it.
journey. जी.
And for my family, it was really difficult. They never wanted to talk about it. But 1-1.5 साल तक तो मैंने भी इस बारे में कोई बात नहीं करी, because I was still listening to my body. I was healing. I was coming out of it. So, but जब मैं बाहर आई तो I thought कि it's important to talk.
जी.
Because मैंने बहुत struggle किया है जब I was going through the treatment. Because my family didn't want to talk about it. I was just going through, ऐसा लग रहा था कि मैं एक रोबोट की तरह बस चल रही थी. You know, ये लगाना है, ये दवाई करनी है, ये करना है, वो करना है, and I was just going on. I was just going on. There was no one to talk about it कि, you know, hi Harjeet, तुम कैसी हो, क्या सोच रही हो.
Harjeet, that is a thing in our community as well. I feel the Asian communities, we have this thing where we don't talk about it बहुत ज़्यादा, है ना.
There's a stigma, there's a taboo where people don't want. I think they take cancer as a, I don't know, I don't want to say that word, but लोगों को कैंसर ना एक बहुत बड़ी बीमारी लगती है या जो भी लगता है, and they say that they don't want to talk about it.
जी.
But why?
जी.
जिस पे बीत रही है, अगर आप उससे बात नहीं करोगे तो कैसे चलेगा?
Yeah, because उस time पे I feel it is very important for that person to have this that support from the family.
That's the conversation you need to talk.
Yeah.
You need to have with your husband, with your wife, with your parents, with your close friends.
जी.
But I think nobody wants to talk about it because I think everybody has a question. यार मैं क्या पूछूं, कैसे बात करूं?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But there are simple ways to talk. You know,
जी.
just say if you want to eat something, if you want to go out with me, go for a walk. There are small things which can make that patient happy, right?
Yeah, जी.
And I realized this after a few years कि I joined support groups. I joined Young Adult Cancer Canada. I joined Lymphoma Leukemia Society of Canada. I joined Canadian Cancer Society.
Okay.
You know, I wanted to connect with people who are going through the same thing.
Okay.
And unfortunately, till now, I could not connect to that person who had a similar type of cancer.
Okay.
But still, I made so many connections. I made so many friends because of that.
ਜੀ ਤੇ ਹਰਜੀਤ ਜੀ ਹੁਣ ਨਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਜਰਨੀ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਚੀਜ਼ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਾਂਗੀ ਕਿ ਠਹਿਰਾਵ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਐਕਸਪਲੇਨ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਵਾਟ ਵਰ ਦ ਲੋਜ਼ ਐਂਡ ਡਾਊਨਸ ਔਰ ਕੀ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਿਲਾਂ ਐਂਡ ਚੈਲੰਜਸ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਏ ਐਂਡ ਨਾਓ ਆਈ ਵਾਂਟ ਟੂ ਟਾਕ ਅਬਾਊਟ ਕਿ ਜੇਕਰ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਨੈਕਟ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੇ ਲਾਈਕ ਯੂ ਫੇਸ ਦਿਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੋਕ ਮਿਲ ਰਹੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਟੂ ਕਨੈਕਟ ਕਿ ਜੇਕਰ ਕੋਈ ਕੈਂਸਰ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਵਨ ਥਿੰਗ ਦੈਟ ਯੂ ਫੇਸਡ ਐਜ਼ ਅ ਚੈਲੰਜ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਚੈਲੰਜ ਸੋ ਜੇਕਰ ਕੋਈ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹਾ ਲਿਸਨਰ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਕਨੈਕਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਹੀ ਵਾਂਟਸ ਟੂ ਰੀਚ ਆਊਟ ਟੂ ਯੂ ਤੇ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਪਲੇਟਫਾਰਮਸ ਨੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਜਾਂ ਕਨੈਕਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾ ਸਕਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਸਵਾਲ ਹੈ ਦੇ ਜਸਟ ਵਾਂਟ ਟੂ ਟਾਕ ਟੂ ਯੂ ਤੇ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਪਲੇਟਫਾਰਮਸ ਨੇ ਜੀ
So that's right. As you said, ki in our Asian community, it's very difficult because you don't have any. यहाँ पे Asian community related cancer support groups नहीं है. There are support groups which are, you can join YAC and Canadian Cancer Society and LLSC, but there should be. I feel that if I can help one single person out there, I'll be happy, right? And to connect or to ask any kind of a question or need any kind of a support, you can always reach out to me on my Instagram, which is Harjeet Kaur, HK Thriver, or I'll leave my number to my radio 580 just in case if you guys want to talk on phone, and I'm available anytime. And you can always reach to me on my email, which is harjeetk17@icloud.com. And I'm happy to help and support whosoever needs that.
ਜੀ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹਜੇ ਤੱਕ ਵੀ ਲਾਈਕ ਆਈ ਸੀ ਲਾਈਕ what changes do you feel ke like I always hear people saying that ke cancer jo hai they change you as a person, so I would like to ask you this as well ke ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ cancer ne kidda change ਕੀਤਾ? Do you see yourself as a different person after cancer?
Yes, completely. Cancer has changed me completely. Like, I see life in a different way now. Like, all small moments and things, I can feel them now. Right? I want to enjoy each and every moment of my life because I have lost that, because after cancer, there is a lot of uncertainty in your life. So, you need to, enjoy each and every moment and have hope, have that strength and courage, be confident. I know a lot of physical and mental changes have come. Like if I go back and see myself, before, I'm not the same person. By physically or mentally, I have gone through a lot of changes in my life in the last 3.5 years. But I feel like I'm strong enough now. And I love my life, the way I'm doing things and, the way I'm supporting and helping the community. And hopefully, I want to wish everyone who's going through, this type of, this whole cancer journey and experience. I know it's not easy, but I would just say, please stay strong, talk to people if you want any kind of a support, and just have strong willpower to beat cancer out of your body.